Okay, hopefully you guys can properly see me, but I don't exactly have time to just sit down and talk. But today in this video I'm going to be talking about what's going to be happening with my room because everything's changing. But while I do that, I'm also going to be figuring out how to take down my aquaponics system because these plants will all be going in a terrarium and the fish are going to be going back into that tank. So what I'm going to be doing is just taking those plants and putting them on the top of there until I can put them in their proper terrarium. And then I might have to plant this strawberry plant. So, where to start? Right now my room is a mess, as I've been saying in like all my latest videos, is that my room is very much a mess. And also in my most latest videos, most of them have been about plants. And the reason for that is that plants don't take very long to make videos about. And I haven't had a whole lot of time to make videos recently. And I apologize for this, but you know, life's life. And I have about half a day each weekend to do animal related things besides feed the geckos every other day. Now I wish that wasn't true, but it is, and it's pretty annoying for both you and me because I don't get to do as many animal videos that I would like to do, because right now I'm working as hard as I can each weekend to get these terrariums done that I'm working on, because once I get them done, then I will be able to bring in my turtles, and I might just have to suck it up and bring in my turtles anyway and move around my room how I don't want it for a little while, because my turtles need brought in. It is getting too cold at night. So, where to start? Basically, problem with my room is that I need to fit a very, very large iguana enclosure in here, and as you can see, there isn't a whole lot of room in here. There is, but it's all being taken up, obviously, by my many different terrariums and stuff. So how do I fit in a, what is it, a 6 foot tall, 5 foot wide, and a 30-inch, or 5 foot in length and 30-inch wide huge container into my room? Basically, I have to get rid of something, right? And that's pretty hard to figure out what I need to get, or what exactly needs to happen. But here's what I'm thinking, or here's the idea that my dad and I came up with, or I came up with, and then talked about it with my dad. He said that it'll work. Basically, I have to have my bed here, right? Because I sleep in that. I don't want to have my bed in my room. I'd rather like put it in a guest room or something, sleep up there, and then be able to have more stuff in here. But I'm not allowed to do that. So, since I have to keep my bed in my room, how to take up the same surface area and yet hold more stuff is rise the bed, because there's nothing above the bed, as you can see. And there's not a whole lot of storage under it. So we're going to build up the bed and put storage under it. Now, what's going to be stored under it? Everything that's in my dresser. So all my clothes, and then I have a whole lot of fish tank supplies in my dresser as well. So then, once I have all of that, then this, which is I think close to 5 feet, 6 feet tall, and you know, big. It's not quite as wide as the other thing. I don't think it's 5 feet. I think it's 4 actually. Take that out. So that brings a lot of space into my room, but yet this iguana cage is still going to be 30 inches long, which is really, or 30 inches wide, which is really quite wide. That is how long a 20-gallon tank is. So it's very, very large tank that we're talking about here. So how do I find the space to do that? Because even if I had the right height, which I do anywhere in my room, but I had the right length, this would still stick out like out to here, which would be kind of ridiculous to have right here. Now another question you might be asking is, why don't I just take out this enclosure? Because if I'm going to be moving the iguana into a bigger enclosure, which it needs a bigger enclosure, that's why we're building one, or going to be building one, why don't I take out this? Here's the thing, I really like this enclosure. There's a lot of problems with it, but I really like it. One of the problems is I don't like the sliding glass doors. So what we're going to do is we're going to install cabinet doors instead. Then the question is, well, what are you going to put in there if the iguana isn't there? Well, I really like this terrarium. It was really expensive. I don't know if I could sell it to actually make money if I took the iguana out and decided to sell it. But what I've always wanted for this terrarium is to have way more plants. Problem with that, iguanas can have a lot of plants, but they also destroy plants really, they're really good at it. Really good at destroying plants, and also they, a lot of the plants that I keep, iguanas cannot have, cannot eat, because iguanas are, they do eat plants, as you guys know, and if they tried to eat the plants that I keep, then the plants would actually be toxic to them, which would not be good at all. So I obviously cannot just fill this with plants like I would like to with the iguana in there. So the iguana will get a new cage. We have the building materials for that, or we can buy the building materials for that. And then this enclosure is actually going to be split in half. We're going to put a piece of plexiglass on the inside in half. It'll have opening doors. I'll fill it with plants, make it really cool, and then we're going to keep my 2 crested geckos in there. So that's like a 55-gallon area for each crested gecko, which might sound crazy to you guys. I could probably split it in 2 even, and then have like 3 terrariums in there. But I just want, I think I'll just do 2 because I want really big areas for my crested geckos, because why not? That's basically, you know, I have the space, why not? It's going to look super cool. And honestly, most of the time, I kind of just like how the plants look the most out of my terrariums. It's mostly about the plants. So that's why I can't get rid of this. But what that means is that those 2 terrariums will no longer be in here, which adds space. So far, we need to fit this, which shouldn't be a problem because it'll be high up. But the way it is, we have that area, which can't fit the iguana's cage. We have this. We have on top of here will be cleared. And then we still have all of this stuff. So, my iguana cage that I'm going to build still wouldn't fit. Unless, what we did is we moved the bed here. What that would do is basically we'd rise it to where my window starts. Or like the bottom of my window. So it's going to come out real tall, right? And then what would that do? That would open up a complete wall there and a complete wall here for animal enclosures, rather than just this, like, you know, this curved area. So that basically adds 2 more corners in a way. Then the problem is, what about my shelf that's a part of the wall? That sticks out. So the problem with that is if I tried to put this, which is too tall, so it'd interfere, and then that would take out like 3 inches. This would stick out like 3 inches more from the wall. Obviously, we don't want that because it's going to be, we want space, right? And I can't really fit anything that's actually useful for me on there. Basically, there's just like knickknacks and stuff, and just toys that I used to play with and stuff like that. Stuff that I really don't need in my room any longer. So what I'm thinking is we take that out and put a piece of drywall, I think it is, and paint over it, and basically we know how to do that stuff. We actually installed this wall here, so we know how to do it. It's just time. Got to figure out when to do it. So what that'll do leave that complete wall, this complete wall, no issues. Big, huge iguana cage right there, okay? And then this old one right here, and that'll fit. I think this will fit behind my door, and what I'm going to try to get my dad to do is just remove my door because I never use it. It's always open because I just don't. I'm downstairs, the rest of my family's upstairs, so I don't care if my door is closed or not. Put the leopard gecko cage there, so that takes care of all of that. Then what we're going to do is I'll have the bed here, so it'll open up the area a lot here as well. Then I know I said I was going to be doing other things, but I'm totally not. Then my fish tanks are going to go right here. And I think they're a little bit wider than this is, but it won't really matter a whole lot. And the reason for that is, right now, on my bed, this way is, let me think, 13 feet, and this way is like 12, I think, my room-wise. So there's like 4 feet on this side of the bed and 4 feet on that side of the bed, and it makes it pretty spacious around, right? Then, if I move it over here, that means that I only have space for 4 feet on one side and 3 feet on the other. And I'm going to need exactly 4 feet to fit this and the doors that come out. So they'll actually be able to open fully as well, if that goes right there, which means that there's going to be 3 feet on this side. So if I take that and put it right there, it'll be just out of the space, so then I can get in to the area that'll be here. And then the area that'll be here will probably have this, and then I might build stands for enclosures that are like thinner, rather than like 18 inches wide, like this tank or that tank. They'll be like 13 inches wide type of thing. So those will be able to fit there as well. And what that'll do is it'll open up a really cool area to view the new iguana cage and the old iguana cage, and basically everything on that wall. And then it'll be a whole lot easier to do water changes on this stuff because, or on those tanks, because they'll be right here and I can walk right out. Basically clears out everything, makes it really easy, and no problems. Problems fixed. So, what do I need to do that? What I need to do that is I need to get this tank done. Once I get this tank done, then I'll be able to put it here and get this stuff out. Then I'll set up a 55-gallon on top of the iguana's cage for Norman, and I have plans for that tank because I keep screwing it up. I don't know what the problem is, but I need to fix it somehow. And need to bring in the turtles and the fish that are outside. Then I'll take those two terrariums, put one down here and one down there, and then everything will be good. And the real reason I need to get this done before I do those things is because I have all these plants here as well, and those will be going in those terrariums. So then everything should be good and dandy until we build the underbed storage area and the iguana's cage and take that thing out. So as soon as possible, I'm going to clean out a storage tub, like one of these storage tubs, and I'm going to put all that stuff in it so I can get that out of my room. That's the first step to the whole room. But right now what I need to do is bring the turtles inside. So that's all the plans for the time being, I guess. Basically for the future, and I'm hoping to get all this stuff done by Christmas, because my iguana's cage will probably be a Christmas present, because it'll probably be a little bit costly. Now I'm finishing taking down the aquarium that I was taking down kind of a little bit while this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if you want content, then subscribe. Definitely subscribe for all those things that are coming. I'll be filming them all, and there'll obviously be more videos in the future.